Tony D and Little Joan with two trailers due on superhero TV shows that continue, I think, to degrade the characters. First up is Marvel's Wonderman, and next up is a Bat Fam, which is about a Batman family, if you can imagine. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys books 1 through 18, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. I looked for a third trailer, really couldn't find it. I'd already done one on the terrible Starfleet Academy, and really couldn't find another. But Wonderman looks to be, it's not so much terrible, it's just kind of boring, in my view. Again, I think the lead is miscast, but it makes a little more sense when you see the trailer, because really it's about Hollywood and superhero movies and how they're going out of vogue. So they thought that would be a good TV show, I guess, for the people in Hollywood. But again, it seems out of touch, completely off the mark for what the character used to be. Not a strong concept unless you happen to be in the industry, I guess. If you want to see actors go to auditions and struggle with their agents and money, I guess, and I guess at some point there'll be some superhero stuff in this. The premise seems to be this. Simon Williams, this is the news, Simon Williams, is going to audition for the Wonderman movie, along with Ben Kingsley's character, you may remember from Iron Man 3, who was a terrorist. Yeah, a fake terrorist, but a terrorist. He was, what did they call him? The Manchurian, I think? I forget. Anyhow, for some reason they're friends, and they're both going to the same audition for Wonderman. I don't know why, because Ben Kingsley is much older than Simon Williams. I don't know why he would go to the audition. It doesn't make any sense. Even by Hollywood standards, you would pick a guy, you would want guys of a certain age range, or could play a certain age range. Ben Kingsley's way too old, or, and I can't pronounce the actor's name, Simon is way too young. But they're invited to the house of the producer, who's got some new way to make a movie. I think what he's going to do is give Simon actual superpowers. Somehow. And then they're going to shoot the show. And he's going to actually be fighting crime, I guess. And it drops in January, if you're interested in seeing it, if you happen to have Disney Plus. Because you guess you hate yourself. I'm streaming January 27th. 8 episodes. Like, no one's waiting for this, Disney. Wonder Man was a character in Marvel Comics. And I read Marvel Comics during the height of Wonder Man, when he was a good guy. He was on West Coast Avengers. And then eventually he moved into another team. They were always constantly killing him off and bringing him back, because they really couldn't figure out anything to do with the character. That's part of the process of comics. Marvel, at that time, they weren't in the movies, but they had plenty of comic characters. Sometimes they'd bring them back, and in order to boost sales, they might announce, oh, this character's going to die. One of the Avengers is going to die. Oh, okay. And then they'd kill off Simon, because he'd already been brought back once or twice and 3 times. So bringing him back wasn't an issue. And you can get a bunch of sales because you can say one of the Avengers died. Essentially. But the character, when I read comics, and as I've said, I go to conventions all the time, people don't talk about Wonder Man. They're not talking about Wonder Man now. He's got a TV show coming out. When Spider-Man has a movie coming out, people talk about Spider-Man because people love Spider-Man. When Superman had a new movie a few months ago, I heard talk about Superman. Not a word about Wonderman. Nor do I expect to hear one. They race swapped the character, which I think was a bad move. What little fan base he would have had, don't recognize him. And it's not even that he's black. It's just that Wonder Man was like a muscle guy. He was just like more so than most of the other superhero characters. He was just all muscle. He looked like a bodybuilder. This actor, he's a good actor, but he's not all muscled out. I mean, he's in shape, but he's not a bodybuilder. If he was at least a bodybuilder, maybe. Now, in the show, they kind of get around it by saying, oh, there was an original Wonder Man. That guy kind of looks like the original. And it looks like AI, by the way, Disney. I strongly suspect it's AI. That was the TV show, and now movie, and now they're remaking it. And then it's going to be a big satire about making too many superhero movies. Who's this show for? You're putting it on Disney Plus. Who exactly watches Disney Plus? Because I can't really wrap my brain around it. I know a handful of people who have it and don't watch it because they just have it in case there's something on Disney Plus they want to watch. So either they got money to burn in that area and they don't care to waste $15 a month for some insane reason, or a few people I know are genuinely interested in a few select items. Wonder Man wouldn't be it. Or they have it for their kids. Again, for some insane reason. So, deconstructing Wonder Man further, I don't think helps the character. You know, another show about Hollywood and how it works, but it's not really Hollywood. It's going to be the Hollywood and Marvel Comics. So it's going to have superpowers. Not sure how that's going to work. I mean, they're doing The Studio with Seth Rogen, which is an actual TV show about Hollywood. That's a comedy. And they've done like a million others. It's tiresome. It's especially tiresome now, considering that it's not really showing you, in my opinion, how Hollywood is. Hollywood is dying. Hollywood is on the verge of being ousted by AI actors. There's another strike looming with, who's on strike? I forget. Somebody's on strike again. Oh, LA Times. So, you know, and then all the woke stuff hurt it. Disney's hurting. Parks are hurting. Are we going to get any of that in these shows? I don't think so. You know, in the old days, you might have gotten some of that. At the very least, they would have just changed the names of the parks and the movies and the studios so they could have, you know, really dug at their own industry. And for some people, that would have still been a little too inside baseball. But, like, I just don't think there's an interest here in this. And, I mean, you watch the trailer. You're not seeing him punch dudes. You're not seeing superhero stuff. There's not a single superhero thing in this. It's about an actor trying to get an audition. Is that the push of the show? Does he have no superpowers? Okay. And if he does have superpowers and you get to see some of that, why wouldn't you show any in the trailer? Do you not want people to watch this? You're dropping it in January. Next up is Somehow Worse. This is Bat Fam. Now, this is a kid's cartoon with Batman. And it's a Batman as a dad with his wacky family. I assume that's Batmite. I don't know who this black woman is with the afro. Possibly his new wife? I don't know. But she seems to know him. There's the Joker, I assume. I'm not sure who that is. This kind of looks like a regular show version of Batman. I guess it's supposed to be a comedy. It's wacky. I don't know who this character is. Is this another generation? Clayface is in it. The designs are weird. It's not very funny because, and I have no idea who this character is. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. Is it supposed to be the Batwoman character in the early days? Because she has red hair? But if you want to see it, because you've never seen Batman before, I guess, November 10th. I can't imagine Batman fans enjoying this because it looks ridiculous, and Batman fans like Batman. They just want to see... Let me try this again. We just want a series where Batman solves mysteries and punches people. That's it. It doesn't even have to be that good. It could be great. You could, for instance, hire all the writers from the Batman animated show and then do a live action version of that. You could just straight up redo all the episodes from the live action shows. They were great. I don't know what's so hard when you had a great version, other than there's so many egos in Hollywood, everybody wants to do their own version, so it's not going to match with anything. See, one of the things I learned in improv was this. You say yes and. You take your scene partner's offering and you add to it. And one of the great things in the early days of, say, movies, take a franchise like James Bond. They kept it relatively consistent from movie to movie. They used the same cast, different stories, further adventures with Bond, but you didn't notice a giant change in tone from movie to movie. You know, when it switched, by the time they switched to Roger Moore, it was a different era. The technology was slightly different, and they were upgrading Bond, but it was still basically the same. You know, over the years, it degraded and degraded much more slowly, but to now, I don't even recognize what the hell they're going to put out soon. But this is like so far afield from regular Batman. You might as well have just done a cartoon about a superhero family and made up a bunch of villains. Again, like, the Batman fans, I would say, mostly don't want this. Those are the people you would draw in. So when they see the show and then go, well, this isn't Batman, I don't know what this is, they then don't watch. And they tend to complain about it on the internet. I mean, am I wrong in that assessment? I think there would be more people complaining about this than had you just done an original show with a superhero family and just called it whatever. And then you could have built an audience on the new IP as opposed to degrading the Batman IP further. I mean, you don't have any real credibility, in my opinion, with the fans at this point. Many of the MCU and DCU projects have let the fans down. Some of them haven't, but a lot of them have. So if you're just banking on, well, all the Batman fans will tune in. Yeah, they'll probably tune in for an episode, maybe half an episode, and then they're out. And who's that leave you with? Well, there's a bunch of people who already made up their minds about Batman and decided I don't want to watch Batman. Doesn't matter, you have a new take on it. They already decided no to Batman. Those people aren't going to check it out. Well, maybe this version of Batman I like. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to check out different versions of the same character hoping that one of them will be to my liking. It doesn't make any sense. You could say, well, it's for kids. Okay. Then why not create an original IP for kids? Because most of those kids, maybe they kind of know Batman. They've heard of Batman. But so what? They're kids. If you showed them a halfway decent trailer with crazy characters, they'd probably tune in. I don't think you need this. I don't think you need to do this to the Batman character just so a bunch of nerds go on the internet and complain about it. And then, I mean, it's this weird pattern that both studios seem to have with superheroes, where they take the superheroes and then they say, okay, how can we not do this? How can we get as far away from the ideas in the comic as possible? What's the point? At that point, do a new character. Would I watch either one of these? Would I rate them? Doesn't matter. I won't watch either one of these. I wouldn't pay for Disney Plus to see Wonderman. This one's on HBO Max for free. No. Just doesn't interest me. I don't want to see this version of Batman. I can't get the version I wanted and liked and told Warner Brothers I liked. I told Warner Brothers I like Batman animated series. Everybody told you we love the Batman animated series. It was extremely popular, ran for many years. So, do that again. Or something close to it. No, I don't care about the egos of the animators or the directors or the actors. Well, we're doing something different. I don't care. I didn't ask for different. I don't go to a restaurant and say, I would like some chocolate cake. And then they come out with a cake-like dessert and say, here you go. This is my version of a chocolate cake. And then I eat it and go, well, there was no chocolate in this. And they go, yes, I know. Mine's different. I didn't want different. If I wanted different, you know, you should have called it something else. Because if you called it something else and I wanted something different, I might try it. All you did was trick me into ordering the cake, and then I'm not satisfied. So you keep doing that over and over again. What do you think the people who pay for the services eventually do? They tune in. They are once again unsatisfied, and they have to question their spending on your channel. So at some point they're going to go, okay, I've had enough. Canceled. And will they come back? Maybe, but it seems unlikely if they had a bad experience with your product and they leave. If they have a good experience, they'll go, well, I'll just keep it. I mean, does any of this make sense? I know I'm screaming into the void, but seems like that would make sense, to make product that people want. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for further videos. And check me out tonight at 7 p.m. for the live stream where we do it live. Yes, it will be at 7. I am not doing an event today, so there's not going to be any lateness of it. So 7 p.m. we'll be talking about the box office. We'll be going through the trades, and I'll be complaining about some other TV shows and movies. Hope you'll join us. We'll see you in the next one.